boop, mana boop boop boop. Mana boop 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 boop. That's probably been enough time for it to finally record my audio, because it always cuts off the first couple of seconds. Hello everyone, welcome back to ANI201, and in this video we're going to go over we just did the repeater. I'm looking at the repeater assignment right here. What we're going to do is we're going to do motion sketching, some smoothness, and some wigglers. Okay, so first things first, let's go and make ourselves a new project. And new project, new composition. Once again, I'll name this ANI201, whoops, let me use lowercase letters here, David. Monticchio, and I'll just name this Wiggler. I'm not going to put in Wiggler, Smoother, and Motion Sketching. Let me use a white background here on this one, because I'm just gonna use general colors and shapes again for this example. Now, the actual assignment wants you to use one layer that's 100 by 100, a rectangle. I'm going to use 3 of those just for the purposes of showcasing what each of the individual things do. First things first, remember to save. Save this as, okay, I'll save it under my documents. ANI201 Monticchio Wiggler. There we go. Save it as that. Now we're good to go. Always remember to save. Always, 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 always remember to save. It's not a matter of if it crashes, it's a matter of when it crashes. So, let me just go click and hold rectangle tool. And, actually, let me undo that. Let me just simply click. Because if I click and drag, I'm making a shape. If I simply click, oh, you're not going to let me do that. Normally, if I just simply click, it will just give me the option to type it in manually what it is I want. But okay, fine. I'll go and say I want a 100 by 100. Why are you not? Is it right click? New. Okay, let's go to new solid. Okay, there we go. That's how it'll work. I have to right click new solid. Like I said, there's always one thing where I go and say, wait a minute, that made me look bad. So let's go with 100 by 100. And I'm just going to name this, I don't know, what color do I want? I'll go with blue. I'll name this the blue solid. Why not? And blue, actually I'll name this blue motion sketch, because I'm going to use the motion sketch on this, and I'll make this guy, I'll make it a nice dark blue. Boop, there we go, hit OK. So now I have a 100 by 100 solid, and you'll notice it has a different color timeline in here. Solids and shapes and all that have different colors, and compared to pictures and video files, they color code it. We haven't gotten into using video files or picture files or anything like that yet, or text, so it hasn't necessarily come up. So, here's what we got here. So we've got ourselves this level. And normally how we would move the position is, we'd move the object with P and position, keyframe it, move it, keyframe it, move it, keyframe it, so on and so forth. That's how we would normally move stuff. But we could go into if I just go into the window here, not the smoother. Tracker? Nope, not tracker. Okay, one moment. Motion. Motion blur. Motion blur. Motion blur. Motion. Track motion. Motion sketch. There it is. It was under window. I just missed it. So it's under window. Motion sketch. There we go. So, and the motion sketch will pop up on the right-hand side. So, here we go. All I have to do is select the layer I want to motion sketch, make sure I'm on motion sketch, and hit start capture. And if I start capturing, I click and drag, whoop, and there we go. That is the path that it will take. So I'll hit play, and it goes along that path. I can free draw my own path. Now, as you can see, that was 3 seconds worth in this 15 minutes, so, I did not time that well to be an entire thing, but that's okay. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just now, we've seen how to do that. We're going to do the same thing this time. Because if you notice, if we look at this position, look at all those little keyframes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. There's 31 different little keyframes that it made by doing that motion sketch. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just, copy this. Copy, paste. There we go. And now I've got this, and I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename this guy. Rename this. I'm going to rename you to... I'll keep you as blue, but I'll keep you as blue smoother. Okay? And I'm just going to slide this guy out just so he starts when that first guy ends. Okay? There we go. So this guy ends, then this guy will start. Okay, as you can see, the timeline, if this red bar is not there as the timeline, it goes away. So it's not visible until the timeline hits it. Okay, until the tape head hits it. That's something you can do, because you can shrink these guys so that, it'll go away. So like right over here, if I want to move this over, now that guy on the bottom will go away. Okay, so that sort of stuff. Same thing like that. So in this one, on this top one, because I've already done the blue motion sketch, let me do the blue smoother now. What I can do is, you might notice already, there's a smoothing option right here already in the motion sketch. But what I want to do is I want to apply the smoother. So I go to Window, Smoother, because it's right there under Window, Smoother, and I can apply to the temporal graph tolerance, I don't know, let's say a tolerance of 20. And apply, do I have to have the actual keyframes highlighted? I think I have to have the actual keyframes highlighted. Highlight it, apply to spatial path, set my tolerance to like 20 or something, and hit apply. Now you'll notice those 31 keyframes went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the same motion path. If we notice, these motion paths are the same thing. There's motion path number 1. And here comes motion path number 2. They're the same thing, but with far less keyframes. It figures out the mathematical way how to do it. And there we go. So now I'll start at around 6 seconds here. And you know what, I'll just cut both. Okay, I would have to go and move this out of the way to do that, but that's okay. Lock that, we're good. I'll make myself another solid, so right click, new solid, where, I'm looking right at it. I'll name this one Red Wiggler. There we go, because I've already got 2 blue objects here. And I'll make you, actually no. Wiggling is kind of a more fun concept, right? I need like a light lavender. So I'll name you the Lavender. That's more party friendly, right? Lavender? No idea. But anyway, now we have the Wiggler. And you know what, I'll just move this so it starts at 6. Pops up, and that pops up. Okay, cool. So the Wiggler requires position or scale or whatever it is you're wiggling, okay? So if I were to go under Window, and there's the Wiggler, it'll add the Wiggler over here. And I can add certain things to it. So if I want to wiggle the position, I'll put the position there, and then I'll put the position, you know what, I'll move it just slightly over and then slightly back. So in theory, it actually doesn't move. It's literally the same spot, 360 to 360. But if I grab these 2 points, now I have some options over here on the right-hand side for the Wiggler. I can smooth it out. I can spatial path or temporal graph. I can smooth it or jag it, so if I want to make it nice and rounded, or if I want to make it nice and, rigid movements. I have frequency and magnitude. Frequency is how many things per second. So 5 things per second, magnitude of 1. If I do a magnitude of, say, 5, and I'll hit apply here. So what's happening is I've got a movement of it's going to move and wiggle 5 directions every second. So it kind of looks like an unsteady camera. Now if I undo this, and let's say I want to, let's say I make this jagged instead. So I move this from smooth to jagged, and make this a magnitude of, I don't know, I'll make this a magnitude of 25 instead. Apply. Now I've got, and now it starts shaking a bit more and a bit bigger. If I undo this, I can just, make this magnitude of, I don't know, make this a magnitude of 15 per second, magnitude of 50. Apply. And now you see all these lines going crazy now. Now it's shaking like crazy. It's a shaky cam movie now. We're watching Blair Witch. And at the same time, it doesn't have to just be position that I wiggler. I could wiggle the scale. So boom, there's 100%. I don't know, I'll take it over here to another 100%. Yeah, there we go. Because as long as I have 2 keyframes, I can wiggle the scale. Let's do the same magnitude and frequency. Boom. Now we've got, and it starts wiggling that way instead. It starts wiggling up and down. Now, of course, I have this specifically wiggling in both dimensions. I could do all independently, or I could switch it to X and Y. How about I do that? Let me do the same thing here, except this time, let me also smooth that out again, and let me go with only the Y direction. Why not? Apply. Now, when I get to this point, it'll just wiggle up and down like that instead. If I were to switch it the other way around, it would be wiggling left and right in the X direction instead. And I can do the same thing to rotation. So you know what, rotation? Let's wiggle you out. And this time, 1, boop, 0. Oh, you're not going to let me do that. Okay, let me click and drag and set you back to 00. There we go. Now I got 2 parts right there. It doesn't like it when you try to do another keyframe of the exact same thing. It'll just delete the previous keyframe. So you kind of have to change it to something in order to change it back if you want 2 keyframes that are exactly the same. You can also copy the keyframe and paste it, but for whatever reason, I just like doing that. I like the clicking and dragging for whatever reason. So, let me see here. So, rotation. 15 per second. Actually, let's only do like 1 per second. Magnitude of 50 here, or 2 per second. There we go. So we see it not just all jittery. There we go. Well, let's just do that and see. So now it'll rotate. I'm sorry. Why did you not do anything? Can I not rotate your jagged? Let's try that. 50 degrees. Okay, let's try 500. Apply. Can I not wiggle the rotation? I can't wiggle the rotation. Okay, I learned something. I can't wiggle rotation. Never mind. Let's instead do transparency. I could have sworn you could wiggle rotation. I must have done a workaround with a null object when I did that last. So, let's try wiggling the opacity instead. Frequency 2, magnitude 100. To a second. There we go. Not noticing anything for the opacity either. Okay, well, I learned something today. You can wiggle scale, you can wiggle position, you can't do rotation opacity. I'm not even going to bother wiggling the anchor point. That's not going to make any sense. But yeah, so once you got, a motion path, and you smooth it out, and you use a wiggler on it, on an object, you'll have a working thing that says that you know how to use the tools. Like I said before, there's always going to be something that proves me completely wrong because my memory is faulty. But yeah, and you could just, use a wiggler, and yes, you could wiggle text as well, and you can wiggle things, and there's me wiggling the scale, which I knew I could do, but I could have sworn I could wiggle everything else. But whatever. Anyway, once you get something that works, save it. You know, go to Edit. Go to File. Go to Export. Add to the render queue. There we go. Add render. And it'll go through the entire thing. Please remember to send both the .aep file and the .mov file. And send it through Canvas. And we'll be good to go. Stupid wiggler. Made me look bad. It wasn't the motion path this time. It was the wiggler that made me look bad. It's never the wiggler. It's the first time the wiggler made me look bad. I'm normally great with the wiggler. I say that because it's literally like one of my favorite effects. I love just wiggling the camera or something. Just get that sort of like shaky cam movement. I love doing it. I don't think we're going to be working with cameras in this class. That's kind of advanced stuff because 3D effects in After Effects are really just 2D layers on a 3D plane, and it's, you know, you kind of have to do some funky manipulation involving 4 cameras. Like here, literally, I could switch this from a 4-camera setup by going... No, custom... Custom? Render every cancel. No, where's the camera setup? I'd find it some other time. It's not important. We're not going to be using a 4-camera setup in here anyway. The 4 cameras would be active camera, front, a side, and a top-down view, which is basically what you would have to use if you want to use 3D anything. I probably have to add a camera in order to do that, don't I? Yeah, layer, new, camera. Yeah, I'll use a 2-node camera. Why not? Is that going to add anything? Okay, yeah, now I got the one view over here on the bottom right. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. This is the type of view you would have to use when you're using 3D in After Effects, just to make sure everything lines up. You don't want to do anything with it. So, let me just oh, can I delete the camera? I don't want to save it like this. Oh, well, I saved it beforehand, so I'll just close out of it. But anyway, thank you very much, you guys. I'll see you next week in the next video where we'll, I want to say, go over parenting and some other stuff. Let me just take a quick look here. Yeah, parenting, masks, pre-comps, expressions, audio effects, and exporting compositions. Well, I've been exporting compositions with the render queue for the past couple of videos now, but, you know, we'll make sure we'll see those videos for the actual proper lessons in them. So see you guys. You have a great day. See you next week.